All right, it's time to check in with Steve Zabin for 97.3 The Game this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Zabe. Want to start off with this, some college basketball talks. A game between two in-state teams turned into quite the shoving match over the weekend.
Yeah, kiss the court tradition between Michigan and Michigan State. So Michigan's getting beaten pretty soundly by Michigan State in East Lansing. And apparently the tradition when, guys were to check out of the game of their last home game at Michigan State is to get down and kiss the court. So Michigan positioned two players to stand right at the logo to kind of be like, okay, you're not going to kiss the logo here as you leave the court. And then that led to this, and you see people shoving and pushing. It's just funny that it's these little petty things in sports sometimes, Like, okay, I know they're going to come and kiss the logo, so we're going to stand right here. Two guys. So silly. Tom Izzo then after the game made sure to bring the player back and say, we don't run away from our traditions here. He had the player kiss the court after the game was over and everything was done. But just kind of a silly tradition. Badgers lose this weekend. Marquette lost in a heartbreak. So both teams in action Thursday for their respective conference championships. And let's hope they can make a run. Better yet, let's hope they get a good seed and they're not one and done in the tournament. That would stink.
Going back to Michigan State and Michigan, I was going through an identity crisis, and I was a sports anchor in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I called Michigan State Michigan once, and I never made that mistake again because the amount of emails I received from fans, they have diehard fans there who are very passionate about the teams.
Oh, yeah. They'll never let you forget that one.
Let's talk about NFL. We've talked about this a couple times about the Packers looking for a veteran receiver, but now two of the top picks are gone.
Yeah, Devontae is going to the Rams on a 2-year deal. Not sure. So Stafford stayed. He got a new contract extension. Who knows about Rodgers going somewhere? There were some reports that they were going to be a package deal to some team. That's now broken up. And then DK Metcalf, who the Packers were sniffing around and thinking about, goes to Pittsburgh and for a second-round pick, and he's going to get a new contract that's close to $150 million. I'm not heartbroken over losing DK Metcalf. He's a really good player. He's huge. Look at the guy. But I just think last year the Packers' passing game would have been much better if Love had not gotten hurt in the opener. I think that skewed everything. So I'm not as down on the wide receiving core, even with Christian Watson out for most of the year with that ACL recovery, just because I think they're still good at wide receiver. DK was going to cost a lot of money, so I'm like, okay, let somebody else pay for him.
Hey, Zabe, what is shiny toilets and happiness? I saw your podcast episode drop this morning. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet.
What is this going to be about?
It was about my former radio colleague, Andy Pollin, raving about a toilet cleaning scrubber that he found and gave this full-throated endorsement for, even who said, I swear I'm not getting paid for this, but if you got stains, this is the thing to get. And I just said, man, what must keep you awake at night is silly things like my toilet's not clean enough.
All right. Download Zabe's podcast.
You can enjoy it later on today. A little mystery in the podcast today.
We'll listen to the podcast.
All right, guys.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Zabe. Well, once again, listen to Zabe's podcast, and you can also listen to Zabe and Butch on your morning drive on 97.3 The Game's weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m.